Hello and welcome to today's edition of Extraordinary Outcomes. I'm Shubhanjan Sarkar, your host and founder of Pitchling, the buyer-seller engagement platform. Today we bring you the seventh installment of the eight-part limited series, Fixing the 5% Problem in B2B Sales. In this limited series, we bring you engaging discussions with experts from around the world on the elephant in the sales room, the abysmally low rate of conversion in B2B sales. Meet Amit Agarwal, SVP and Head APAC MEA at Algonomy. Here are the highlights of his career so far. Amit has sold in 23 countries across bootstrapped Series A, B, C, D startups. He is the author of the book The Ultimate Sales Accelerator, and he has coined the term salespreneur and created a new sales strategy called use case selling. Let's hear Amit talk about his take on the elephant in the sales room. Amit, welcome to this special segment on extraordinary outcomes. I'm delighted to talk to you because you are one of the thinking sales leaders in India.
Thank you, Shivanjan, for mentioning me as a thinking sales leader. Hearing that from you means a lot.
So let's address this elephant in the sales room. Our terrible conversion rate. I mean, some data is saying it's as low as 1.8%. Some is saying 6%. 7.8% and so on, depending on the geography and industry. I'm sure there are some outliers, but this is the broad story.
Sure.
What do you think, Amit, got us here?
Yeah, so I think when we look at conversions, to me, conversions are basically two aspects. One is the marketing aspect, the other is sales aspect. Correct? So if we look at marketing, we are talking about marketing qualified leads, and the conversion ratio which generally we track is MQL to SQL. So what marketing qualified leads have come to sales qualified leads. And in sales, the ratio which we track is from SQL to conversion. Right. So from sales qualified lead to actual conversion. So let's break these two into these two parts, the
Sure.
marketing. So if I look at the marketing part, if we look at why it is low, in my experience of working in these 4 companies across last 11 years, one of the things which I have seen is that the ratio is lower. One, because of wrong definition of TAL or target account list. So if you, just to give you some examples, I'll give you an example. So SDR sets up a meeting with a restaurant which is fine dining. Okay. Now the salesperson, and in that meeting actually I was also there, so therefore I couldn't relate more to it. When we speak, we find out that actually this is a fine dine restaurant, although our target account list is quick service restaurant. So quick service restaurant like KFC, Pizza Hut, these kind of restaurants which is a different segment, and we have defined it 150 stores and above and all of that. But the meeting was set up. Now the salesperson didn't say no to that, so that is one mistake, correct? When the salesperson went in, after 45 minutes, we found out that this doesn't even satisfy the requirement because it is not in the TAL, it is a fine dine restaurant now. By the time it was 45 minutes of 2-3 people on the call was wasted. Yeah? So this is an example of wrong TAL, where I think the marketers as well as sales leaders, they have to constantly be very, very clear on what is their TAL. That will help the marketing team. Okay? The second example in the same area of marketing is wrong incentive structure. So what happens is in this same example, if the SDR is rewarded for basically booking meetings more, then qualified opportunities which are coming out of it. Correct. And this was the case in this example where the SDR percentage was, for every meeting they book, they get a amount.
Right.
So incentive and the conversion, especially in enterprise sales like ours, it happens very long. So 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. So SDR doesn't even remember what will happen after that. So according to me, it is an example of wrong incentive structure. If the incentive structure is where, of course, a meeting is set up with the right TAL, that has to be rewarded. But then if the opportunity is created means there is a need, then it is rewarded. Correct?
Right.
So in sales part, what I have seen is that Now opportunity has to be created, or opportunity has been created. Now opportunity to closure is very low. Opportunity to closure is very low. Why it is happening? One distinct reason I have seen is when if suppose a salesperson has to make the following statement. Assume the company name is Pinnacle Software. Just assume. So if a salesperson of Pinnacle Software has to make and you are my client, correct? And your opportunity has been created. Now, if I have to sell to you, I have to only make one statement. The statement will be as follows. What will client Shubhanjan, your company, lose if Pinnacle Software doesn't implement this solution? So if you notice, I have not asked for gain, aspiration. I have asked for lose, because a lot of research has gone which says anxiety is a stronger emotion, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what I have noticed is that on simple terms, you can say value proposition. But why I am mentioning this is that when I ask my team also that you are selling to client ABC, if they don't buy our solution now, what will they lose? Okay. So that is an element, sales and pre-sales teams are very good in sharing features and, depth of detail, breadth of coverage. But if you ask him, can you give me 3 reasons? If suppose you are a customer and you ask them, can you give me 3 reasons? Why should I buy your software now? What will I gain or what will I lose? Okay. This kind of narratives, I actually called it as a board deck. And I created it because one client during discussion with me, they said, I was with a lot of pain. That client said that what will I present to my board? So that stuck to me, and I created a 3-point narrative, which is point number 1, why does client A need this solution? Point number 2, why does this client A need this solution now? Correct. And the point number 3 is, why does this client A need this solution from my company or company name? And more often not, just by seeing this, myself or any, in fact, if you are seeing it as also, any business leader will be able to say that, do you have anything concrete to be of value to the customer? Because if we can't do this in good in that board deck, what will we do in the client presentation? These narratives which qualify the opportunity and move it down the funnel faster to closure, which I have simplified in these 3 terms. Why do you need this solution? Why do you need it now? Why do you need it from me? Okay. So this generally is lacking. And now why is it lacking? One is you can say structure part is lacking. The other part is I call sales owners and pre-sales owners as doctors. Correct? A doctor is an expert in an area. Correct? You meet an eye doctor, you meet ear or brain doctor, neurosurgeon, heart cardiologist. They are experts in that area. When you are an expert in an area, if you will notice, if you go to a doctor, they will tell you not only what you are asking, they will tell you something more which you don't know, isn't it? When you are sick, God forbid you are sick, but if you are sick when we go, I think that level of expertise mindset, is what I have seen is somewhere lacking in sales and pre-sales organization, which further decreases the conversion rate. Apart from the structure of what I said is that qualifying structure, in this case it was board deck.
Okay, so basically, while we were discussing the problem, you did mention some of the solutions. So basically, it came intertwined. But if you now want to move the discussion completely to the solution side, what do you think should be done to actually change this conversion?
Now, from a solution point of view, as I mentioned, I will divide them in following areas. So one is templates or processes. Correct? So one of the template or process which I have created is called board deck, which addresses these 3W. Why do you need this solution? Why does the client need this solution now? And why does the client need this solution from my company? Correct? So that's one. The second part is called brevity. Correct? So less is more. And I was reading the same thing. Gartner has recently coined a term called sense-making selling, where they say There's a giver seller. Giver seller gives lot of information. Whatever clients ask, the giver seller gives. However, the sense making seller, prioritizes things which are meaningful. So the third point is, again, if you have to look at, if somebody is an expert, he or she can control his narrative easily. Otherwise, if the person is not expert, they will go anywhere. So the expertise first lies in the thought itself, which is the ownership of the sales leadership, that I will cultivate and I will reward people for developing expertise. Okay. Because typically they are rewarded for relationships. Whereas for expertise, if the mindset first comes, action will happen. I tell my team also that why are you waiting for, need coming from the customer? In fact, this is a chance. Be a doctor who, if you look at Ayurveda, they do pulse diagnosis. They don't ask you what is the problem, correct? They touch your pulse, and they tell you what are your problems. So I am of that school of thought that especially in complex B2B sales, if you are on the table of a customer, you should be going from a perspective of, okay, the customer himself doesn't know what the problem is. I am an expert in this area. I will find various levers, and maybe there are 2-3 levers which are the current customer doesn't know it is a problem right now, but when I talk to them, we'll find it. And the area which we work in, almost 95%, almost close to 100%, none of them have that business case upfront. They don't have it because, as I said, we are selling things which are not coming through inbound marketing. We have to create the need. So
Wonderful.
that is, I think, Shubhantan, you will agree, if we start doing that, conversion rate will increase, isn't it?
Amit, this was a great discussion. I think you bring in a different kind of perspective from, you have a very unique perspective, primarily the startup world. And I really enjoyed chatting with you, and I hope you had a good time too.
Yeah, pleasure is always mine, Shubhanjan. We have spoken in the past. Always pleasure to talk to you. And I think this time this topic was very close to me, B2B conversion rate, because I have worked in startups and which are in a specific industry. So my market size has been always optimal. Correct. So for me, the target account list was very optimal. So the conversion rate was the thing which, in fact, my one-liner for my team is 100% conversion rate, which nobody likes. But, however, we are just moving on that spirit. People have understood the spirit, and therefore, thank you for inviting me to giving a chance to share this spirit with a larger audience.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.